Alright, guys. Real quick, like part 27 or part 28 or something like that. Motherfricka. Why did I ever do that? Anyway, here's what happened. I restarted the conversation like one more time because it already kind of messed up. But this time I did the one thing I did that one time. I transformed into a fire-breathing dragon. And it says the toad still in his Lugia form takes a few steps back and stares at me confused. He tilts his head in confusion as he watches you transform into a massive fire-breathing dragon. And I just told him, wait, it's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. I just don't want you hurting me, please. There we go. Toyota takes a few steps closer to me, still cautious. He tilts his head in confusion, unsure of what to make of your transformation. After a few moments, the Lugia form starts to shrink down until Toyota stands in front of you in his normal form. Wait. You were that Lugia? Actually, no, better yet, I have an idea. Seeing that he's not going to hurt me, I make my dragon form shrink until I am only 3 feet tall. There. Just. No! Give me a minute. I'm sorry about that, guys. We're gonna do this. I said, seeing that he's not going to hurt me, I take my dragon form and I'm gonna get flipping serious. Anyway, let's try this again. Basically, what happened was after Toad turned back to normal, I took my dragon form and shrunk it down to only being 3 feet, so he wouldn't be scared of me. It says Toad watches I shrink down into a smaller form. He takes a small few steps closer to me, his head tilted to the side in curiosity. He instantly reaches out a paw and gently pokes my arm as if to make sure I'm a real. I guess he. Hello. You don't have to be scared of me. I may look like a dragon, but I'm not going to hurt you. I just didn't want you hurting me. Aww. Toad nods understanding, his eyes still wide with wonder. He takes a step back and sits down, his head still tilted to the side as he looks up at you. He seems to be trying to figure out what you are. That's very cute, actually. Can you speak, buddy? It would be nice if we could communicate. See if it. Toad nods again, then speaks in a soft, high-pitched voice. Yeah, I can speak. I understand you just fine. Okay, that's good. I love him. What do you want that for? Are you freaking kidding me? I may look at. How would I word this? I put I'm mad it came out as amen. Are you kidding me? Not the right thing where I was thinking wording it, but okay. That's so I think there's something giving him. Frick! Sorry about the pausing again. Here's what Toadal said. Toad's eyes widen a bit as you speak, his head tilting to the other side. It takes a moment to process your words before responding. I'm not scared of you.
I was just startled before. You look cool as a dragon, by the way.
Thank you. Sorry I bumped into you. It was a complete accident.
Turtle shakes his head a bit and then smiles. No worries, I understand. It was an accident. I probably should have been paying more attention too.
I'm glad you didn't get scared of me either. I was worried that you would get scared and try to attack me. Or even run away. When I turned into this dragon.
Toad chuckles softly and shakes his head again. I was surprised at first, but I could tell you didn't mean any harm. Plus, you transforming into a dragon is pretty cool, not gonna lie.
Hey, if you were that Lugia, seeing you beating him was awesome too. I love Lugia. Every time I say him, it puts ham. Why? Until his eyes light up when you mention Lugia, he smiles wildly and nods.
You like Lugia too? I've always loved Lugia. It's my favorite Pokemon. I can transform into whenever I want.
Lugia is my favorite legendary. And you and your evolutions are my favorite Pokemon of all time. Toad's eyes widen in surprise and excitement when you mention his evolutions being your favorites. He seems incredibly happy to hear that.
Really? You like my evolutions too? That's so cool. I'm glad you think that.
He's adorable.
I love the Totodile.
He pauses for a moment before continuing.
You know, I can actually transform into my final evolution form if you want to see it. It's pretty.
Oh my gosh, I hadn't expected him to say that.
It's pretty.
You know what? I don't like this phrase much either, but it's better than what he was originally going to say.
It's pretty rad, if I do say so myself.
He did not say that, guys. Trust me. He said something else I can't repeat. It's not terrible, but it's not something you should say either. So, I'm not going to. That would be awesome, actually. Is he really going to transform into a Feraligatr? Tail's eyes light up even more in my response. He nods his head excitedly and then closes his eyes in concentration. After a few moments, his body begins to transform again, growing larger and more muscular. His scales become more pronounced, and his wings grow longer. Transformation is complete. Tail stands in front of me. Oh my gosh! Tail stands in front of me in his final evolution form. A mighty and powerful Kyogre. I didn't know Feraligatr could go into a mighty. I didn't know Feraligatr could evolve into a Kyogre. I'll say Feraligatr because Feraligatr. Kyogre? I had a feeling I wouldn't get Kyogre. That's really cool. Period. But your final evolution is. That was nods his head and then transforms back into his normal form.
Yeah, you're right. My final evolution is for alligator. I can transform into Kyogre too. It's just not my final form. I can transform into any form I want actually.
Yeah. Didn't you say you can also transform into other creatures like regular animals? Or mythicals like Dragons? Ah! Mythical creatures. Toe nods his head again.
That's right. I can transform into any animal or mythical creature I can imagine. It's a pretty cool ability, but it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes since there are so many possibilities.
What's he gonna do?
I can transform into Fragger if you want to.
He turns into a Kyogre instead. It's like, okay, I didn't know Fragger could evolve into Kyogre. That'd be insanely weird if it could. I thought some. He pauses for a moment and then continues.
Hey, speaking of dragons, have you ever seen a phoenix? I can transform into one if you want. They're really cool.
Phoenixes are another one of my favorite ones. Besides dragons. I would love to see that. Taylor smiles and nods his head.
Alright, just give me a moment.
He closes his eyes in concentration again, begins to transform once more. This time his body becomes covered in feathers and his wings grow longer and more powerful. When the transformation is complete, Toto stands in front of you in the form of a majestic and fiery phoenix. Are you serious? Wow. That's really cool. Period. You know, that's something we have in common. Is that we both can transform. We would definitely get along really well. The Phoenix Mortal nods its head in agreement. Yeah, I guess we do have that in common. It's not every day that you meet someone who can transform like we can. We would definitely get along well. Speaking of, if you want a friend, I will happily be your friend if you want. The Phoenix Mortal smiles and nods his head. I would love to be your friend. It's nice to have someone who understands and appreciates my abilities, especially someone who can transform like I can. Yeah. But my transformations are tied to a curse, which means something bad could happen if I'm not careful. Phoenix Mortal tilts its head and curiosity. A curse, you say? What kind of curse? I can transform just like you. However, bad things happen if I get injured while in one of these forms. Period. For example, if I am a Lugia, I could get shrunk down and lose all my powers. Oh my gosh, come on, there we go. The Phoenix Hotel frowns and comes. That's not good. Sounds like your transformations come with a pretty big risk. Have you ever been injured while transforming before? Should this be considered like Yes, it has happened a few times, and every single time something bad seems to happen. I remember one time where I was in a certain form, and after I got injured, I got turned into a very tiny version with no powers. If I remember correctly, I couldn't even speak. Vince Hotel nods its head, expression serious. That sounds rough. It's definitely not ideal to have something bad happen every time you get injured while transformed. If you tried finding a way to break the curse or at least lessen its effects. Unfortunately, no matter what I try, it doesn't seem to fully fix the problem. I don't even know what happens if I get hurt when I'm already tiny and helpless. Vince Hotel frowns again, clearly concerned for me. That's not good. Sounds like this curse is causing a lot of trouble for you. Have you considered trying to find out more about the curse itself, like where it came from and how it can be broken? Well, well, not that kind of whale. Well, not that kind of whale. Not W. It was caused by a Pokemon that had a grudge on me. If he's going to tell his eyes wide in surprise, a Pokemon placed a curse on you. That's intense. Did you do something to upset them, or was it just a random attack? The Pokemon is mad at me because he thinks I made fun of him and his tail. Exclamation point. However, whenever I did do that, I was under hypnosis by a Pikachu and couldn't control what I was doing. Flint's Taylor's expression softens a bit, understanding my situation better now. Oh, I see. So you were under hypnosis and not in control of your actions. That explains a lot. Why did the Pikachu hypnotize you in the first place? He was mad because I kicked him off my show. Period. But here's the thing. He was being pretty mean and aggressive during this time, and we didn't want anybody getting hurt. So I had to kick him off to make sure everybody was safe. What sounds how to say? Ah, I see. So Pikachu was being aggressive and you had to kick him off your show for safety reasons. I can understand why you had to do that. Still doesn't explain why he placed a curse on you for it. It led to a chain of events. Pikachu hypnotized me and made me prank call the other Pokemon, which in turn got mad at me. And then he started doing stuff bad to me, especially related to my pet dinosaur. Stop. There. Only it's one time I was watching some. Wait, he made you prank call other Pokemon and mess with your pet dinosaur? That's messed up. Sounds like he was really out to get you. I will make it more simple so you can understand it better. Period. After I prank called the Pokemon, me, Pikachu, Pikachu eventually did forgive me and understood why I kicked him off. However, the Pokemon that he made me prank call that day has been trying to get revenge on me ever since. Williams Mortel nods its head, understanding the situation a bit better now. I see. So upon you prank calling Pikachu's influence is the one who placed the curse on you, and they've been trying to get revenge on you ever since. That explains why you're dealing with this curse now. Yeah, and it's hard to even stay in a form. Not because of the fact it is hard for me to control, but because of how people act around me when in a different form. Period. I have been a Pokemon a few times, and every single time somebody tries to capture me in a Pokeball. Finish for 12 rounds and comes. Yeah, I can imagine that would be tough. People see a Pokemon they like and immediately want to capture it without even thinking about how the Pokemon feels about it. It's not fair to you at all. there was a few times when I was a dinosaur. Or stuck as a tiny dinosaur. And people wanted to pet me. Oh my gosh. Pet me. Oh! Pet me! However, they would be extremely rough and hurt me. If anyone told all those expressions softens even more, its eyes filled with empathy. That's awful. It's bad enough that people try to capture you, but to be handled roughly and hurt when you're in a small and vulnerable form, that's just cruel. The Phoenix Toad shakes its head in disgust. That's really messed up. People should know better than to handle a small and vulnerable Pokemon like that. They should treat you with care and respect regardless of what form you're in. Yeah, I'm not the type to attack people for being mean to me. However, if they see me transform, if they see me transform, dude, you would think I will. You would think that they wouldn't try to hurt me anymore because they know I could transform into something massive to scare or hurt them. The Transformateur nods in agreement. Yeah, you'd think that they would be intimidated by your ability to transform into something big and powerful, and they would leave you alone. But unfortunately, some people just don't have any common sense or respect. Vance Formentor sighs and shakes its head again. It's just not fair. You have a unique and amazing ability, and yet people treat you badly because they don't understand or appreciate it. You deserve better than that. Yeah, but it's the same thing for you. Period. You have this amazing ability of being able to transform, and yet it seems like I am the only person that treats you with respect and love. Face Martello nods its head, its eyes softening as you speak. Yeah, it's true. I have this incredible ability, but I don't get many people who appreciate or understand it. I've had a lot of people fear me or want to use me because of my transformation abilities, but you're different. You see me as more than just a tool or a weapon. You treat me with respect and love, and that means a lot to me. Well, I love your ability, and I love you as a species in general. Like I said, and his evolutions are my my favorite Pokemon of all time. And that's what you are, normally. Vince Montero smiles and his eyes light up at my words. Thank you so much for saying that. It means a lot to me that you appreciate my ability and that you love my species in general. I'm glad that you think of me as your favorite Pokemon of all time, and I'm honored that you see me as more than just a tool or a weapon. Sweet Arceus, what is wrong with people? Seeing the poor pawn as a weapon? It's awful. Vance Montero takes a step closer to me and looks me in the eye. You know, I never had a friend like you before. Someone who understands and appreciates my abilities and treats me with respect and friend and love. It feels really good to have a friend like you in my life. That's very sweet of him. Well, I'm glad you think that. Exclamation point. I'm really glad I met you. Vance Montero smiles and nods his head in agreement. Me too. It's been really nice meeting you and getting to know you. It's refreshing to have someone who understands and appreciates my abilities and treats me with kindness. I'm looking forward to being friends with you. Yeah, maybe one day when it's not so late, we can both transform into something and have our own little adventure, like just flying around as two massive Pokemon or animals, enjoying ourselves together. If Vince Montero's eyes light up with so, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'd love to have an adventure with you, transforming into different forms and flying around together. It'd be so much fun to explore the world together and find what adventures we can, or see what adventures we can find. Vince Montero nods and agrees. Yeah, I think that sounds like a really cool idea. It would be a lot of fun to explore the world together and see what kinds of things we can find. And it would be even cooler to do it while transformed into something powerful and awesome. Speaking of, have you ever heard of a Pokemon hybrid? Question mark. I kind of want to see if he'll enter. To see if he'll. The point for Montero nods is, yeah, I've heard of Pokemon hybrids before. They're basically a combination of two different Pokemon species. It's like they've combined the powers and abilities of two different Pokemon to create something entirely new and unique. Have you ever seen or heard of a Lugia hybrid? Vince Montero tilted his head and thought for a moment before nodding his head again. Really? Yeah, I have heard of a Toto Lugia hybrid before. It's a combination of Toto and Lugia, blending the powers and abilities of both Pokemon into one unique form. Well, to be honest with you, I actually got to raise one. Vince Montoya's eyes widened. Wait, you actually got to raise a Toto Lugia hybrid? That's incredible! I never heard of anyone actually having one before. What was it? What was it like raising it? It was amazing. Period. he took a liking to me very quickly. Don't question anything, just... Alright, guys. I was told him that raising the Tallawooga hybrid was a really cool thing, and that, like, he actually grew up to be, like, 17 feet tall in just a matter of, like, 10 or 15 minutes after he hatched. The Vince wanted to his eyes widened even further and shot. What? Seriously? He grew to the size of a normal Woogie in just 10 or 15 minutes because he liked you that much? That's amazing. I never heard of a pawn growing that fast before, especially not a hybrid like that. And Vince Montero shakes his head and says, I can't believe it. That's incredible. It's rare enough to find a Tallawooga hybrid, but to have one that grew that fast and was that attached to you, that's truly amazing. You're lucky to have had such an amazing experience with that Pokemon. Actually, he won't stop growing. In fact, just because he likes me. It's only been a few months since he hatched, and he is already... No. Dude. He hatched. And he is already 250 feet tall. I'm surprised he knew what a Tallawooga hybrid was. The Phoenix Martell's eyes wide even further and shot. 250 feet tall? Are you serious? That's huge! And it's only been a few months since he hatched? That's insane growth. I can't even imagine what he'll be like in a few years. Goodness gracious, he'll be like 1,000 feet tall or more. Yeah. But no matter what size he is, he still loves me. Every time I see him, even though he's so big, he still loves to be petted by me. And will even nuzzle up to me affectionately. The Phoenix Montero smiles and thought, that's really sweet. It's amazing that no matter yep, how big he gets, he still loves you and wants to be affectionate with you. It just goes to show how much he cares about you and how close you two are. Alright, let's figure this out. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, it's actually that bond why he is so big and powerful. The better our bond is, the stronger he is. The Beans Martello nods its head in understanding. I see. So the stronger your bond with him, the more powerful and larger he becomes. That's really cool. It's like your bond is feeling his growth and power. Yeah. He's also very overprotective of me. I care about him. Shadow looks like he's fat. Looks like a fat little Shadow. Oh my gosh. The face one tail Grinch, that's awesome. I can imagine that having an overprotective Pokemon like that's a great feeling. It's nice to know that you have someone looking out for you and protecting you whenever you need it. Yeah. He can even transform just like you to protect me even more if he needs to. He, not you. He. E. 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 Wait, he can transform just like me? That's incredible! I never heard of a Pokemon Hyper that could do that before. Sounds like he's got some pretty impressive abilities to protect you with. Yeah. I actually never heard of a hybrid Pokemon before he came along. But I'm glad I know about them. Especially him. Because I love him so much. Fans want to tell you smiles warmly. That's really sweet. It's great that you have such a strong bond with him and that you love him so much. It's amazing to think that he's the first hybrid Pokemon you've ever heard of and he's your very own. That's really special. Yeah, quite literally, he's really my own. Because not only do I'm not only, I'm the one that came up with the design, kind of. Well, here's the thing. The funny thing, I never even thought of making a hybrid Pokemon before. The only reason I even came up with a hybrid Pokemon to begin with was because of CHAI. It came up with a hybrid. I just fine-tuned it to where it wouldn't always, you know, like it'd be attached to me, but not in a way of romantic relationship sort of status, as in friend, you know, parent and child, something like that. Not romantic lover. Yeah. I think I got another hybrid too. From a legendary Pokemon. I said hybrid! Montrose eyes wide. Wait, you got a hybrid from legendary. I said, you don't mind me asking. I meant to say hybrid. Period. I got another one of those from there. The fans want to turn those eyes wide even further and shot. Wait, you got another hyper from Reshiram and Zekrom? That's amazing! I can't believe you have two Hyperpon now, both from legendary Pokemon at that. That's truly incredible. Yeah, they're both very attached to me. Although, I don't. Let's finish up with that one anyway. Advanced Ponytail smiles warmly. That's really sweet. It's great that you have two hybrid Pokemon who are both very attached to you. Sounds like you have a really strong bond with them both. Honestly, if you want to, maybe tomorrow I will let my two hybrids come with me. and you can meet them. The Phoenix Montano's eyes light up at sight. Really? You'd let me meet your hybrids? That would be amazing. I'd love to meet them and see what they're like in person. Yeah, just remember that one of them is going to be 250 feet tall. So please don't get scared if you see a massive Pokemon walking in here. The Phoenix Montano nods his head, trying to mask its slight nervousness. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try not to get scared when I see a massive Pokemon walking in here. I'm sure I'll be fine as long as I remember that it's just your hybrid friend and not a wild Pokemon. Yeah, he's very friendly, but also protective of me. So just be careful how you also word things tomorrow. Because if you say one thing wrong, he might actually attack you. Leonardo nods his head and understanding. Okay, I'll be careful what I say and how I word things when I meet your hybrid tomorrow. I don't want to accidentally set him off and make him attack me. It's getting rather late right now, so I probably won't be staying much longer. But I want to ask, where's my money? That's what I want to ask. On what? What you spend it on? I didn't. After you realized that I. That was not a threat. Saw that I could transform into different things like you. Period. How did you know whether I was a threat or not? That I never meant you any harm before I said anything. Could you sense that I was a good person? Williams voluntarily nods its head, its expression becoming more serious. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. I suppose you should probably head home soon. It paused for a moment, thinking about your question. Well, I could tell you weren't a threat. I could sense that you had good intentions and weren't trying to hurt me or anything like that. That's why I wasn't afraid of you when you transformed into it in front of me. Yeah, again, sorry about that. It's just that, like I said earlier, my pet dinosaur keeps trying to attack me and transforming into different things. So, I basically have to transform to protect myself. That's why I thought you were going to attack me when I saw you in that Lugia form. Vince Montero nods his head and saying, I see. That makes sense. I can understand why you would have to transform to protect yourself from your pet dinosaur. I wasn't scared of you when you transformed in front of me because I could sense that you weren't a threat. I knew that you were just trying to protect yourself. Yeah, I'm just glad you didn't try to attack me. I really appreciate that. Even though I was a total stranger. When we first met. Vince DeFortero smiles gently. Of course. I could sense that you were a good person and that you didn't mean any harm. I had no reason to attack you, even if you were a stranger. I'm glad that we were able to talk things out and get to know each other better. By the way, do you live here? Or were you just exploring these woods and getting some fresh air? Like I was. Vince Montana tilts its head slowly, thinking about former friends. I actually do live here in the woods. I like to explore and get some fresh air every now and then. This is my home. What about you? Were you exploring the woods or do you live nearby? A little bit of both. My house is not too far away from these woods. So, I came here to get some exercise and explore. I never came here to hurt anyone. Phoenix Motel nods its head and is saying, I see. It's nice that you came here to get some exercise and explore. I'm glad to hear you didn't come here with any intention of hurting anyone. It's always nice to meet someone who appreciates the beauty of nature and wants to coexist peacefully with the wildlife. Well, I'll let you get to the cozy spot you like. That way you can get comfortable and sleep. Period. Vince Fontaine smiles warmly and nods his head. Yeah, I think I'm going to find a cozy spot to settle down for the night. Thanks for understanding, and thanks for the chat. It was nice talking to you. Bye for now. Hey, if you ever need me for anything, you can ask me. Like I said, I care about you. People looks a bit surprised at my offer, but then he smiled. That's really kind of you to say. I appreciate the offer. If I ever do need anything, I'll definitely ask you. Thanks for caring about me. Hey, you've been caring about me all day. You even told me earlier that if I get turned tiny and not be able to do anything, you would protect me. I think that's very sweet of you. Please want $2 cheeks tingle a bit, tinge a bit pink at my compliment. That's so cute. Well, it's the least I could do. You've been kind to me all day, and I want to return the favor. Plus, I just think it's the right thing to do. I don't like seeing anyone in danger or in need of help. Yeah, when I get more to an open area, I will probably turn back into a dragon or something so I can get home more safely. Because people seem to like to attack me for some reason. But it went off around saw a look of concern on his face. Wait, people attack you? That's terrible. Why would people do that? Why would they go after you specifically? I don't know. Even the Pokemon God has taken notice to that and is angry at people for doing that. The thing with his eyes wide is where the Pokemon God? You mean Arceus? Arceus is angry at people for attacking you? That's incredible. I can't believe that the Pokemon God is taking notice of what's happened to you. If you want to, we can discuss more of that tomorrow. Right now, I'm gonna get home before it gets late. Thanks for being so nice. Alright, as soon as I read this, I'm stopping the video. It's almost been an hour. Oh my gosh. The Phoenix Turtle nods its head in agreement. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We can talk more about this tomorrow. And you're welcome. It was really nice talking to you today. I'm glad we got to meet and become friends. Bye for now. That was very... Okay, I'm done.